The 2024 general election is becoming very interesting since there have been a lot of constitutional tests in this particular year or in this particular upcoming election. As I speak to you, in Amenfi Central, there is another issue coming up. Yesterday, we came to know that Parliament is undergoing a test in its constitution or in the constitution of Ghana, because there have been a motion in Parliament to use Article 97 to declare some seats vacant. One of the people who are likely to undergo this particular exercise or whose seat will be declared vacant is the member of parliament or the incumbent member of parliament for the Amenfi Central. That's the Honorable Peter Yaokwachi Aka. He is actually running as an independent candidate in the 2024 general election. He is an NDC MP currently. The Electoral Commission of Ghana has disqualified the parliamentary candidate for the Amenfi Central, who is nobody than Mrs. Joana Gyan Cudjoe, who is the wife of the popular Ghanaian musician Cudjoe Andrew. In a letter cited by the public, which is from the Electoral Commission to Mrs. Joana Gyan Cudjoe, as you can see on your screen. So it says, from the second paragraph, the Commission's attention has been drawn to an order for interlocutory injunction dated 31st May 2024 in respect of a suit entitled Jadu Frimpong and four others versus Joana Gyan Cudjoe, the National Democratic Congress and the Electoral Commission. The suit number, then by the High Court, second D. The order states as follows. It is ordered that until the final determination of the matter, the affected parties are restrained as follows. The first defendant, respondent for holding herself out as the duly elected NDC parliamentary candidate for the Amenfi Central constituency. B. The second and third defendants, respondents, their agents and officers for holding out, allowing the first defendant, respondent to be held out, veiled with in any way, recognized or afforded any rights of privilege as the duly elected NDC parliamentary candidate for the Amenfi Central constituency. So this is the letter sent or which the EC wrote to Mrs. Joana Gyan Cudjoe. Now let's take it back to where this whole thing started. Somewhere in May, the NDC held its primaries to elect its parliamentary candidate, and in the Amenfi Central, in the first election, it was a very tough contest between the incumbent MP and Mrs. Joana Cudjoe. At the end of the day, or at the end of the election, Mrs. Joana Cudjoe became the winner of that particular election. But some group of people took the matter to court or sued the EC, sued Mrs. Joana Cudjoe, and sued the Electoral Commission since they organized that particular election. Fast forward, we came into the month of September, and according to the EC, 13th September was the deadline for parties to submit or for parliamentary candidates to submit their forms. After that, there is no way one can submit the form as a parliamentary candidate as to an independent candidate or on a ticket of a particular political party. So NDC took a decision, or the leadership took a decision, that they will annul that particular election since it is a bond of contention and it is still in court, so that they'll organize a fresh election. And they did organize a fresh election, but then the incumbent MP, Honorable Peter Yaokwachi Aka, did not take part of that particular election organized the second time. And Mrs. Joana Gyan Cudjoe won that particular elections again. And in that same September, she submitted her forms to the Electoral Commission of Ghana. Then some people or group of people followed up again with a letter to the Electoral Commission reminding them of this particular injunction or the interlocutory injunction in court, despite the fact that the NDC had taken a decision to annul that particular election. In another information we're hearing is the petition or the sue on Mrs. Joana was based on two illegalities. That is, they purported that she actually forged her voters ID card and also forged her National Democratic Congress NDC membership card. So these were the things they took to court. But then the Electoral Commission is today disqualifying Mrs. Joana Gyan Cudjoe based on the fact that there is an interlocutory injunction in court, and hence she can't hold herself as the parliamentary candidate for the New Patriotic Party. But then people are also asking question: is it not the same Electoral Commission who supervised the second election, knowing to the fact that there is an interlocutory injunction in the first election? The EC was also the defendant in that particular case. So going forward, we will get to know where this matter leads or gets to. But interestingly, NDC and its lawyers have also been to the court to seek for an interlocutory injunction over disqualification of Mrs. Gyan Cudjoe as the parliamentary candidate for the NDC in the 2024 general election. So we wait and see how this unfolds, because it is going to be very interesting. If this goes against the NDC, it is going to be a very big blow to them, because the Amenfi central seat has always been the seat for the NDC. So they will fight all they can to retain this seat. We will follow up with whatever comes. We will be here to update you. Thank you very much for listening.